Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to look at Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 19. This is the famous story of the conversion of Saul. Now, we know Saul as the Apostle Paul, but in the story, he hasn't got there yet. He hasn't had his name changed yet. He is still Saul. And Saul is a persecutor of the church. The first mention of Saul was at the end of the story of Stephen, which I talked about in a previous video. As the people were stoning Stephen, they were putting their cloaks at the feet of Saul. So Saul was basically the coat check guy. He was the one who held onto their stuff while everybody was stoning Stephen. Well, now we hear more about Saul. Saul has been given permission to arrest Christians, who at this point are called followers of the way. He's been sent to Damascus with orders to arrest them. Well, while he's on his way to Damascus, this is when he encounters Jesus. And it happens when Jesus basically has this blinding light show up on the road. Saul is blinded, he can't see what's going on, and he hears this voice. And the voice says, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Now, stop there for a moment. Why are you persecuting me? Not my followers, but me. Jesus is identifying with the people who follow him. And Saul here doesn't know what to make of this. And the people traveling with him don't know what to make of it. Well, the voice tells him, basically, I've got big plans for you. I'm going to completely change your life. After the vision stops, Saul can't see. So he needs the people traveling with him to literally take him by the hand and lead him. Now, while this is going on, or shortly after this is going on, Jesus appears to a guy named Ananias, who is living in Damascus. So there's two different visions going on here. There's the one for Saul, and there's the one for Ananias. And in Ananias' vision, he is told that he is supposed to help Saul. And Ananias says, whoa, wait a minute. I've heard about this guy. I've heard about how he's trying to round us up and persecute us and throw us in prison and kill us and all that stuff. Are you sure he's the one you want me to help? And the voice basically replies, yes. So it's interesting here to compare these two stories. Sometimes we hear a lot about the conversion of Saul and his experience on the road to Damascus. We don't often hear as much about the story of Ananias, but they're both important. Some people, when they become followers of Jesus, have more of an experience like Saul had. They have this dramatic, life-changing moment that they remember that there was everything before their life, and then there was this moment, and then there was everything after their life. This is what happened for Saul, right? This moment on the road to Damascus changed his life forever. Some people, that is their story. They have this one defining moment that then shapes their entire life, and it helps them follow Jesus from then on out. Other people, though, are more like Ananias. Ananias was already somebody living in Damascus. He was one of the guys that Saul could have arrested. So he has been following God, and yet he listens to God, and God's telling him to do something. And Ananias isn't so sure about it. He's like, I've heard about this Saul guy. You really want me to help him? Yes, I do. Sometimes when people follow Jesus, it's more of a gradual thing, like Ananias. Ananias, I imagine, was a guy who kind of grew up learning about God. He read scripture. He had faith in God. He had this whole thing going for him, like many people do today. But God still changed his life because he thought he knew who this Saul guy was. He thought he was somebody to avoid. He thought Saul was the enemy. But in this vision, Ananias was told, no, he's the one I want you to help. And Ananias then did so. He met Saul, and he helped the scales to fall from Saul's eyes so that he could see again. But it's interesting to compare both of these stories, the conversion of Saul and Ananias, and see which one you relate to. Do you see yourself in your relationship with Jesus to be more like Saul, where you had this big dramatic turning point in your life? Or do you see yourself to be more like Ananias, where it's been kind of slow and gradual, but God has changed you along the way? It's really interesting to compare Saul and Ananias and realize that both of them can follow Jesus, no matter what their story looks like. There's your 5-minute Bible study. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.